Today on Crossbow Nation, we're hunting hogs at the Shiloh Ranch. Hey guys, Jeff here from Crossbow Nation.
Lot of junk.
This thing is a monster, 8 points.
Star is born.
This is my first pig I ever shot.
It's definitely one of the bucks that was on our hit list.
I'm glad he was on the tracking job with me.
This is a result of our hunt this morning.
The rest is history. Hey guys, Jeff here with Crossbow Nation, and this week we're hunting hogs at the Shiloh Ranch in Oklahoma. And we're joined by Matt Napper and his wife Cheryl, and they're the owners of this outfit, and they'll explain a little bit about what we can expect this week and just exactly what style hunting we're going to be doing. So Matt, why don't you take over and tell us what can we expect, or any hunter that might book a hunt with you, what can they expect when they come to the Shiloh Ranch?
Well, I expect to have a good time. My wife Cheryl and I are owners and operators. We do it all. You can expect to see lots of hogs. We've got everything set up for every level of hunter. We've got ground blinds, ladder stands, we've got tripods, and it's a family-oriented type hunt. You can bring your wife, your children.
That's
have
great.
a good time, good atmosphere. We run a really high success rate, not only in terms of enjoyment, but we have a 95% shot opportunity on truly wild hogs. This is a fair chase, wild hog hunt, and you know, every type of hunter can come here, from gun to bow. We mostly specialize in gun. Your shots are close, and if you want to look us up, you can find us on the web. We'll give you that information at the end of the show here.
Okay, well, it sounds great. I can't wait to get hunting and get started. And like you said, I'll include all their contact information at the end of this episode. So stay tuned to see what happens this week at the Shiloh Ranch. So once we got to the Shiloh Ranch, Matt gave us a quick tour, and we had a short orientation program. And after that, it was time to hunt. All right, it's Friday the 13th. And we're in Oklahoma at the Shiloh Ranch for the Crossbow Nation Forum hunt. So this is going to be our first evening out, and Bill Ball and I are about to head to our stand, and hopefully we have some hogs come in and we can put one on the ground for you today. So it's hot. It's like almost 90 degrees out here. We might get a little storm, but we're going to give it a try anyway. So I'm going to grab my Parker crossbow here. We're going to get out in the woods, and hopefully we've got some action for you later on this afternoon, so follow me. Our first day out, we seen some hogs on the way to the stand, and while we were sitting in the stand, we had a boar come in, but he looked a little bit scrawny, so I elected to pass on him, and we were going to see what the morning had in store for us. The next morning, we head out to a box blind, and before I got situated in the blind, I threw some corn out by hand underneath the feeder. Now in orientation, they explained to us to take a baggie of corn, and sometimes when the feeder goes off, you'd have little pigs come in, or possibly deer that would eat all your corn before the big hogs would come in. What I didn't know was I wasn't supposed to do that in the morning, because what happened is I spread out all the corn before the feeder came out, and the hogs came in like they were supposed to, but they ate all the corn that I spread out, and it was too dark and we didn't have enough camera light for me to shoot one. So at the end of that first morning hunt, I didn't kill a hog, but it wasn't because I couldn't, it was just because I screwed up, I baited too early, they came and it wasn't light enough for the camera. So I didn't shoot one. Matt picks us up, he takes us to a new blind location where we're sitting in front of a trail going through the woods that Matt drives down, and he baits that trail, and hopefully the hogs would come out, feed down this trail, feed in front of our blind, and give us a nice close shot. So we weren't sitting there long, and we saw movement in the woods, and sure enough, here come the hogs. I picked out the biggest one, which I thought was a sow at the time. It ended up being a boar, but it was the biggest one of the group. It was right in front of me. I set my crosshairs on it, pulled the trigger, and made a perfect shot.
Had some pigs come into our bait out here, and I think I got a good shot on it. I think it was a sow, a nice sow. So we'll see what happens. My arrow didn't go completely through, it passed through, and it was hanging out the other side, but that means I got 2 holes, so we should be able to track them pretty easily. That was pretty awesome. We'll give it a few minutes and we'll go look. Shiloh Ranch, Oklahoma, baby.
What if I told you I had a product that your deer would crave, but it wasn't a feed, a bait, or an attractant? What if I told you I had a product that would enhance the quality of your native browse, but it wasn't a fertilizer? A product you could use to change a deer's feeding patterns, and yet other hunters wouldn't be able to see it. This one-of-a-kind product is called Booner Builder, and it's powered by nature. Keep deer on your property like I do using Booner Builder spray. Alright, well, it was our first morning here at the Shiloh Ranch in Oklahoma, and I was fortunate enough to get a nice shot at I believe a sow. So after I shot, it ran into the woods, and I didn't see it fall over, but I think we got a nice blood trail. So we're going to get on that trail now, and hopefully there's a nice reward for me at the end of that trail. So follow me, we're going to get in this woods and hopefully get on this blood trail. Yeah, I got blood right here already. Blood. Oh, here's my arrow right here. Here's a piece of my arrow. I knew when I shot that it blew through the opposite shoulder, but I could tell the arrow was still hanging on, and she must have ran by a tree or whatever and broke it off, but because the fletch isn't on there. But here's the front half. I'm using this Wasp Jack X broadhead, and so far the blood trail is really good, so I'm going to put this in the quiver and keep going here. Blood here, here. Oh, here it is right over here. All right. Ooh, it's a stinky thing too. Ah, it's actually a boar. I didn't realize it when I shot it, but let me drag it out for you. This is actually a boar. And a ripe one at that. All right, well, it's the first morning here at the Shiloh Ranch, and we were fortunate to have this nice boar come out, and you could tell where he's been rolling in the mud here. His hide's all coated in mud, but I was able to get a nice close shot with my Parker crossbow, and the Black Eagle Executioner did its trick, and it was tipped with the wasp broadhead, and it only ran, let's see, it probably ran 65, 70 yards, but we got a nice reward here at the end of the blood trail, and I couldn't be happier. This is my first pig I ever shot, so I want to give a big thanks to the Shiloh Ranch, to Matt Napper and his wife, Cheryl. They did a great job getting us on these hogs, and they got a ton of them here, and thankfully I'm going home with one of them, so they got one less now. So we're going to get this thing dragged out. But yesterday it got up to 90 degrees. It's still cool here because it's in the morning, but I want to get this thing out and get it to the processor before the meat spoils. So this will make some good table fare for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier. So it was a short blood trail, and I found my hog, and I just couldn't be happier. It was a nice big boar, and for my first hog, it was just a really good representation of what you can find at the Shiloh Ranch. They definitely have bigger ones, they definitely have smaller ones, but this was just a nice, solid hog. So one thing that I've learned on this hunt is that hogs have a lot better senses than I gave them credit for. Their nose is unreal, even better than a whitetail. And when it was 90, 95 degrees, it was hard for Bill and I to keep our scent in check. And many times we got busted before the hogs would even come into the feeders. But on this particular day, it was our time, and the wind was blowing right. The hogs did what they were supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do, and so did the Parker crossbow. And I had my first hog, and I couldn't be happier.